Desktop audio, turn on. Mic audio, turn on. Desktop audio 2. What? No. What is going on? I'm so confused. Oh, okay. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. Oh, I can't cuss in the first 3 seconds. Dang it. YouTube. Dang it. We're working on stuff. Today is being real weird. We're going to do our best. We're going to do our best. OBS has taken a massive poop. Can I say poop in the first minute on YouTube? I don't know. Doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. It's free draw / viewer suggestion. I have 8 suggestions today. Druid's hanging out with me, drawing elf boys on the screen here. Let me get this out of the way. Let me start some music up. Blah 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 blah. Do it. We're gonna click some buttons. Doop doop doop. Okay. Oh man, getting that set up has made me so tired. That was a hassle. Yeah, I'm Rookzer0. It is the viewer suggestion today. I asked last week for people to submit their viewer suggestions. I have 8 of them today. So we're going to go ahead and roll for those. I'm going to start off drawing a rugby. Why not? And yeah, we're just going to hang out. Corvus, welcome. How are you today? I cannot see what's going on the Discord at the moment. Give me a second. We are hanging out on Discord. Hanging out in Aggie.io. Not a sponsor. Just something we use. Oh, okay. I'm exhausted already. It's 10:30 in the morning. And I'm exhausted. Alright.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. Let's get this rubber going. Let's see if we can get... Boop, 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 boop. Gotta warm up. I spent all day yesterday fiddling with Unity. And I got somewhere, but not where I wanted to be. So I feel like I haven't drawn in forever. Which is not the case. I draw all the time.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way, but it has been, it's been 4 days since I drew anything.
Dalcor's been making 3D rugbies. It's been an
Again?
experience, yeah.
I mean, good for him, but also it's awfully disturbing when he does.
Dalcor's rugbies are not as cutesy and puggish. They're very much more Danny Elfman-esque.
That is a good way to describe his rugbies.
What's the dude that does all the weird horror anime?
I'm not sure.
That's what Dalcor stuff reminds me of. Which I hope that is a compliment.
I mean, if that's not what he's going for, if it's not what he's going for, then maybe he needs to be working on it in a different style.
Junji Ito, yeah, Ito. That's
Junji Ito.
Yeah. I completely missed that we submitted on the same post this week. Can I drop it in the request? Yes. I have 8 already. Yeah, go ahead and drop it. That's fine. I'll just have to use a different die. For some reason, when I posted it last week, it posted it twice, so there were actually two comments to post on. So I don't know what happened there. YouTube has been failing me, much like I've been failing myself. That was not meant to sound so bad, but I'm not sure it was Photoshop, or I mean, I'm not sure if it was YouTube or me. Either I screwed up or YouTube screwed up. Somehow there are two. And YouTube is doing fine, and I will keep using it. Unlike Twitch, which has been pissing me off, and I'm streaming less on Twitch, but we'll deal with that in the future. I'll probably be on Twitch a little later today. Thus is the life. This is the life. So this. I had a weird realization today that I've been somewhat upset with my D&D players. Not the Patreon, but a different group, my friend's group. And so I had to take a moment today and like, why am I upset about this? Let's deal with it. Okay, it's fine. So now Lars' new character will hopefully be fun for him to play. But it's really easy to let games get away from you when you like kind of invest in them and then something weird goes off the rails. Sometimes you gotta take stock. Running over Raptor. Where did you put it? Did you put it in the drawing request? Or I would just put it in the chat here, but at the same time, I'll add it to the list. But then again, it wasn't in the comments, which didn't promote channel growth. Come on, people! I'm trying to trick you into interacting with the videos. That's the whole point. Comment, like, subscribe. We did release a new video on YouTube last Friday. If you have not seen the gargoyle video, please go take a look at that. Give it a whole bunch of comments and love, and share it with your family. Maybe you have a great uncle that was attacked by a gargoyle and you think that this would help him. Maybe you have an older sibling that remembers the Gargoyle cartoon show.
I loved that cartoon.
I did too. It influenced a lot of my art at the time.
I wish it had influenced more of my art.
I remember when they were going to make a video game for it, and they did a character design contest, and they did a character design contest for the thing where you could submit a picture. My picture did not get selected and did not get put on TV, which bummed me out because some of them were on there and they were crappy. Mine was also crappy, but the point being, I drew the character, and then I on the back of the page I drew an entire level that I thought would be fun, and they sent back a letter. They're like, "Hey, we saw that you put a lot of work into this, and thank you for that." And they sent me a t-shirt. So that was cool. But I think they also didn't give a shit. So that was pretty great. Put it under the post that had 6 comments. Well, now it's 6 now. I had 5. Do you remember Cyber 6? I even know the name. I don't actually think I watched that show. I didn't have cable growing up at all. So I only ever got to see things that were on, just generic
public
TV. Yeah.
Yeah, so, public television.
I remember Beakman's World. That was pretty great. Weird Al show. I didn't get a lot of the mainstream cartoons. Okay, let's see if I can find this. It might be easier for you just to post it in the chat right now so I can grab it, because I'm gonna have to dig for it otherwise.
By the way, this is what I think happens to Rugby if you cast Enlarge Person on him.
He just gets really stretched.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Rook?
And his ears get bigger.
I still like to think that the Rugby exterior is a what did we say? It's like a bag of holding. So like the feet
Yeah.
would get huge, and then the ears would just enlarge. But the rugby would stay the same size. One of these days, we're gonna find out that rugby's actually just an eldritch horror inside of a skin suit, pretending to be a goblin wearing a bugbear. I love the Dresden description of eldritch creatures because it's like it's just weird shit. Like one of the things you find is like it's just hairs. It looks like a big ball of hair, but razor blades, and it's like, oh, what? Very strange. And as for a monkey hobgoblin swashbuckler, because like Pathfinder monkey goblins are pretty cool. I wanted to see how you'd apply that to the hobgoblin. Oh, monkey hobgoblin. Interesting. I don't know if that's a thing. Maybe it is. Wouldn't that just be a Vanara at that point? Isn't that already kind of horror? Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Dr. Random, welcome. Monkey hobgoblin, huh? I will roll and we'll see if we get that one. But
you asked for that one last week too, right? I remember reading that one, I think.
yeah, because I always saw hobgoblins as being the prime goblinoid, the most fey of goblins, and then actual goblins are like weird gremlin goblins, and they can then transform into stuff because they're more malleable. So then you get ice goblins and monkey goblins and stuff. But the hobgoblin's like the non-transforming version in my head. The base model. And then the goblin is just like the distilled chaos of the hobgoblins, with none of the intelligence. Which maybe that's not fair. If you guys haven't checked out Dalcor's Rugby 3D model print, it is in the art share on the Discord. I highly suggest checking that out. It's pretty neat. I like seeing little fan arts of Rugby. That's what Rugby sounds like. Nothing he says sounds coherent, but people understand it. Maybe he is an eldritch being. Who knows? It's not, but since Pathfinder hobgoblins are just tall goblins, what? It really should be. That could be interesting. I think tall goblins are just tall goblins. We change the class every time since I keep forgetting. I find these goblins goblinist. This is a tall goblin. Whatever Druid's doing over here, that's a tall goblin.
I love your tall rugby where it's just the same except he has got super long spider legs.
Yeah, the spider legs are pretty great. I probably should never draw him with actual spider legs, but
that would be terrifying.
Spindly tall legs is pretty funny. Okay, I think that's enough rugby for the day. Bra, welcome. Hello. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the donation. Words have escaped me. All right, let's do this. I'm going to roll a d12, and on a 10, 11, or 12, I'm just going to re-roll, since I don't have a d9. The d9 could be kind of interesting, though. 3. Alright, so we have Mind Flayer Rogue Mastermind. I don't know what a mastermind is. Is that a class for rogues? It might be a rogue class.
Not sure.
Hello, hello?
Hey, Bri. I mean, I'm getting more familiar with 5e stuff because I'm playing more of it now, but I'm still clueless on a lot of the classes.
I might start doing some Pathfinder 2nd Edition stuff. I started talking to someone about it this weekend, and there's a lot of stuff that I did not either read right or did not understand, and or they are playing wrong. So I want to find out how that works.
Mm.
But, the conversation started out with Pathfinder 2nd Edition is way more complicated, and then is also very easy. And I was like, well, which one is it? Because Pathfinder's already pretty complicated. Did it get more complicated or less complicated?
My read-through of it is that it got consolidated, I think is the best word for it.
So that's what I thought. We gotta figure out what this mastermind thing is. Been a while. What's up? Leaving Chaos. Hello, hello. Not a lot. Lamb Tubby Toast. What's good? Not much. Wait, not what's good? Stuff. It's good. No. What's good? Not much. I'm an idiot. All right. My brain is not working today. How are you? Yes, please.
I mean, to be fair, right now there is not much good happening in the world.
Well, that's a downer.
I'm just gonna say, like...
Yep, on YouTube. Just remember. No politics. Moving on.
Okay. I apologize.
Let's get this going. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Oh, Corvus, I wish you would just type things instead of putting links. Because now I have to go over here and I have to navigate to a different window. And I have to click on this, which opens a new window, which I didn't want to happen. So I can't actually look at that right now. Rug beanpole, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Tired, just patching holes in the office walls? Oh no. About to start painting after lunch. That sounds scary and ominous. I have this friend that loves to let me Google that for you. But he'll let me Google that for you on things that he asks you about that you don't know. It's like, I don't know who that is. And then he'll send that. It's like, just tell me. Just have a conversation with me. Like, why aren't we using words? Been surviving. My mind needs a good whipping in the right order. That's good, I suppose. It's good to get the brain going in the right way. Mastermind Rogue is okay. Ah, come on. Oh, it's the easiest way to explain what it is. Okay, well, even though it's the easiest, I can't actually look at it. So we're just going to pretend that it's a rogue that uses psychic abilities, I guess. That's all I got. Yep. Is it too late to make a request? You can definitely throw one in there. It will be on the next roll, I suppose. No. No, it's not a... God damn it. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna grab the secondary computer.
why my density is way down.
It's a spy. Okay. Got it. It's a rogue spy. That's what we're going to go with. That is the summation I needed. We'll try that out. I realize now you're rolling a d12 when the whole d10 exists. Yeah, I just had a d12 next to me because I have lots of d12s around me. Bri, if you have a request, feel free to put it in there. I'll add it to the list. I'm super distracted by this website now. Corvus, I get what you're saying, why you're saying like this is the easiest way to describe it. It still doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's like a word rogue. It like talks to people. I'm very confused about this. You can use your help action as a bonus action. Additionally, when you use the help action to aid an ally in attacking a creature, the target of the attack can be within 30 feet of you, rather than 5 feet of you, if the target can see or hear you. So you can aid people from distance? Forget it. Yeah, this is super, super confusing as fuck. Mastermind Rogue is, I'm thinking, Dr. Evil. I mean, that would make less sense. Words are weapons as often as knives and poison. So yeah, it's like a... Man, yeah, that's super weird. That is super weird. It's like a... I almost want to say like a bard rogue. Who just... stabs people with words? Oof. Oof. That is super, super confusing.
Yeah, as I'm looking at it... Bard Rogue is a pretty good description. Looks like they gain proficiency with like forgery and disguise kits.
It's a support spy master rogue. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. I think that's a great description of it.
So super spy, not James Bond, but
yeah. Bri, was your request a better career with 6 months of vacation a year? I don't know how I'm going to draw that, but you're welcome to the request.
Can I have that too?
Right? I do think people don't use the aid another enough. I like aid.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that is really like good tacticians, or like good team tactics. But a lot of people just want to do the high damage.
I think part of the reason is because in Pathfinder, at least, correct me if it's not the same in 5e, but isn't it like you spend your action to aid another?
Yeah, 5e is the same thing. And
but
so,
but in 5e, doesn't it just give advantage?
That's one of the options for it. Yeah, you can also give people defense, I think, or I guess can you use aid another to do a defensive action for someone? Now I'd have to look that up. Because you're right, I have a lot of the Pathfinder rules in my head, like giving people more armor, or aiding them in a move, or helping them with a roll on their next roll.
Yeah. So
I've gotten the help action banned on some tables. Really interesting.
Really,
that's interesting.
It just seems to me that in terms of action economy, usually it's going to be more effective for a person to just take their turn instead of expending their action in order to just like just give somebody else advantage. Granted, it can be clutch if you give your highest damage dealer advantage.
Right. Think of Spider from Game of Thrones. Yeah, Varys the Spider from Game of Thrones is pretty great.
Since all the requests are split between 2 posts on YouTube, and I'm having trouble switching back and forth between the 2, will you roll for me and tell me what I'm drawing?
Ah, jeez. I lost my die. My die is gone. It did not stay on the table, and now it is gone.
The dice gods have spoken. I am not drawing anymore today.
When you roll a die and it just disappears into the ether, it's like, all right, well, that was my dragoon die too. I guess I'm not allowed to use lances anymore.
Oh no!
I don't have any other die.
But lances. I'll roll.
Hold on a second. Oh no! I think I have a roll on Twitch. I have a roller on Twitch, but not on YouTube.
Got a die right here, a D10.
Yeah, D10.
2.
It's not my fault. OP outside of combat. Oh, if you're, I mean, that's the other thing. Yeah. 2 is a Minotaur Glory Paladin convinced he's a god from Disgruntled Bob.
Oh hell yes!
I forgot to say this is the Mind Flayer I'm drawing is Grain Juju. I hope I said that right. I just closed all of my tabs trying to do that. Flip a bunch of coins, yeah. Let's see.
8 other action outside of combat, like
yeah.
Just giving somebody advantage on skill checks.
What the F did I just do? Yeah. So with that, I don't know why that would be bad. Like, I think that's
me neither.
That's fine. Unless you're just doing it like every time somebody rolls. I generally only let people do it. 1, if you're proficient with it, and 2, before the roll, right? Like, so, like, I'm gonna try to read this book. It's like, I'm gonna help you. It's like, cool. Instead of both of you rolling, one of you roll, which is the exact same. It's just one person's bonus can basically have a better chance of succeeding. I think that's fine.
My rules at my table are usually like, it has to make sense. I have a player who does like to either give everybody advantage on any skill check they make, or make the same skill check at the same time. And like, I pretty much constantly have to be like, hold on, like, you can do that if it makes sense for you to also be doing it, but you're not in that situation right now, and you haven't been participating in that conversation at all. So,
yep.
Like,
that's the thing. Like I said, with proficiency specifically, because like, if you're a wizard trying to discover what a magical item is, and the barbarian's like, I want to help, it's like, you don't know shit about this. Regardless of what you roll, your character would not know what this is.
Yeah.
Unless you have a good reason to do that.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing. The other thing is like, using, what is it, the cleric move, bless? Is it bless or is it guidance?
Guidance, yeah.
Guidance cantrip. That makes total sense, but once again, that's got to be a preemptive thing. It's not like, I want to figure this out. It's like, I'd better guide you. It's like, you're going to pray over, hoping to know whether or not this bagel tastes good. Like, get out of here. It's just like, what are you doing? Yeah, I haven't had too many problems with it beyond that. Like, I've never really had anybody like abuse it. But the other thing about that is also like, I'm okay with 2 people making the same roll at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that versus helping somebody, it's the same. It's effectively the same. Whereas with like Pathfinder, aiding somebody in a roll gives them like a +5, and I think sometimes that can be better. Especially when you're trying to like, is this a cursed item? The 3 of us are going to spend like an hour looking at it. It's like, cool, okay, so that basically allows 3 of you to take 10, you roll a 30.
Yeah.
30 plus 5. So 35. So you could definitely do that. 3 wizards looking at a cursed item for an hour should be able to discern whether or not it's a cursed item.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, like, things like perception checks. I figure when the party is, like, in a dungeon situation and the rogue says, hold on a sec, there might be traps, and then they say, I'm going to look for traps, I usually let the whole party roll.
Sure, that's a cool idea. Yeah.
Because there are things that whole party is going to want to be aware of. They're going to want to contribute to survival checks to not get fucking lost in the middle of the forest. That's a thing. I'm not just going to have the ranger do that.
Right.
Like, even if they're the guide, everybody's going to be paying attention to that sort of shit, right?
Yep. My barbarian with an arcane proficiency of +5 to arcane, real shit. Yeah, that's fine. If your barbarian has proficiency in it, then absolutely let them roll. Like, that makes total sense. I finished DMing my first Pathfinder game yesterday. It went better than expected, and the players seemed to really enjoy it. Good. That's awesome. And rogues. Rogues are just good out of combat. Like, they're good in and out of combat, but they're great out of combat.
They were originally built to be out of combat, weren't they? To mostly function out of combat.
The rogue is essentially the spy and the acrobat mixed together, because it doesn't make any goddamn sense to have it not be this. Unfortunately, like, there's the downside to it, I think, is that it doesn't make a lot of sense for all rogues to be roguish. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Let me rephrase that. The sad part about that is someone who is very, like, cleverly deft with their words is usually more of a bard versus a con man versus a thief. Like, those are 3 very different archetypes in my mind.
Sure.
And so that's why, like, I'm playing my rogue right now. I'm playing a juggler. And I keep flip-flopping between whether she's a bard or a rogue. And I've tried it both ways. Because with the rogue, like, why is she good at picking locks? She's never been a burglar. She's never been a thief. She's a performer. She should be a bard. But as a bard, she's highly dexterous, which makes it mechanically make more sense to be a rogue. Especially when she starts throwing knives and stuff. So there's a weird kind of gray area between that. Should a rogue be, lawful, chaotic, evil, like it was originally projected, or should it be open to variations? Do you have to have a criminal past to be a rogue? I don't know. Dun, 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 dun. Ba. Get out of here. The rogue mastermind seems very I'm actually it's kind of bland. Your level 17 move is that you can no longer your thoughts can't be read telepathically. I would give you that at level 5. Like why does it have to wait till 17 to get that? Additionally, no matter what you say, magic that would determine if you are telling the truth indicated you are being truthful if you choose it to be. So that's interesting. That's an interesting ability right there, like not being able to be... Essentially what that's doing is allowing you to take a 20 on deception. Which, if you're a level 20 rogue, you're probably already rolling pretty high on that. Except magic, you can't be seen by magic, so like a zone of truth. Interesting. That's an interesting concept. but I feel like there's a lot better stuff you could do at level 20 than that.
Yeah, that's as I was looking through it, I was thinking it looks like uh it looks like a subclass that was built for thematic purposes,
Yeah.
not for
That's what I was thinking too.
not for function.
Like
Which-
I really like the assassin class for rogues at like level 15. If you have 24 hours of staring at somebody, you can insta kill them, and it's just like that's stupid. Like,
Yes.
like 24 hours is not a time scale that this game runs on. All right, here's how we're gonna kill the big bad evil guy. I'm gonna spend 6 months trying to infiltrate his I'm gonna become his trusted confidant, and then I'm gonna stab him. It makes total sense for NPCs, but not for a player. So this might just be that situation where it's like, this is how your big bad evil guy can lie to you through zone of truth. Like this is the thing they made to be like, oh, it's in the book.
Yeah. Built for NPCs, not for players.
Yeah.
Although I've got a couple players who could probably find ways to make it work. Especially since I tend to run a kind of more roleplay heavy table. I can totally see them like finagling political situations so that their assassin rogue could get off an assassination. Give them 24 hours total to study.
Sure. I think that's a valid way to do it too. Like, I don't think a lot of people would be okay with the setup, but I think if your player has taken those feats and wants to try to do that, like, make that the game, right? Like, that could be really fun.
Yeah. I really like different kinds of games, like not combat heavy games. I was set to play a kind of a heist game that I was really excited for. The game kind of fell through, unfortunately, but the premise was the DM basically wanted to run a campaign where the party basically set themselves up as anybody watch the show Leverage?
Nope.
Basically a team of mastermind thieves doing Robin Hood against corporate America.
I was supposed to be in a heist a few months ago for a one-shot, and so I made a character like sign for that, and then it turned out to just be like 3 slugfest fights, and I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
I thought this was supposed to be a heist.
That is unfortunately what our heist kind of turned into, and one of the reasons why it was canceled. I was one of 2 of the 6 players who actually bothered to play or to build a character who was not focused on fighting, but was designed for infiltration and deception.
Corvus says the mastermind was printed in the Sword Coast Adventure Guide, which no one really cares about. I don't know if I've read the Sword Coast Guide. The last I bought the Guild Guide to Ravnica, and that was a huge disappointment. So I've not bought a lot of the other guide books. I bought a book. It's like Dungeon. I don't want to say what it is. Because I got it for Lars. I thought it'd be a really cool birthday present. And it was supposed to show up in February, which sucked because I was like, this is supposed to be a Christmas present, but It's being printed, so I had to pre-order it. I'm like, it's fine, it'll be here in February. And then last week I got a thing that like, oh, we accidentally sold out, so we'll reprint it again and you'll get it in July. And I was like, that sucks, but okay. And then I got an email this morning that's like, you'll get it in June. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, what's going on over there? I'm so confused. I like some of the Scrag monsters. Scrag monsters. I'm trying to think of what the Scrag monsters are. Are those like the weird mini trolls? Is that what the Scrags are? I think that's what Scrags are. Like goblin troll. Let's get some different music going here. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Oh, Scrag just meant the Sword Coast Adventures Guide. Oh. Gotcha. What am I thinking of? Dang it, dang it, dang it. Yeah, Scrag is a troll. So in Pathfinder, Scrags are trolls. They're mountain trolls. I'm glad my brain didn't totally break. I want to make this Mind Flayer look very regal, and I don't know how to do that. Maybe I'll put more rings on his... I almost said more rings on his jubbly, and that doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right, but it does sound funny.
It does make sense. Like, if you said the Mind Flayer
Yes.
jubbly, everyone would know what I was talking about. I hope. In polite company. I do also think it would be funny to have a Mind Flayer that is just really good at stabbing people with his tentacles. Hidden weapon. Tentacle dagger. Actually, I might do that. I might put a dagger in one of these tentacles. What was the Sword Coast Adventure Guide supposed to be? Pirates? Kind of assumed it was always just pirates and boats, nautical combat. get some more. Let's darken this up. It's the main area of the Forgotten Realms, like where Watergate and Neverwinter is. Yeah, but like the books themselves, though, is it supposed to be just an expansion of that area, or is it supplemental? Does that make sense? Like, it's because it's not a traditional. In my mind, the Dungeon Master Guide and the Monster Manual should be that area, right? So is this just like Pathfinder has done things where they have books just for Magnamar, like just for one city? Is that this, but over a couple cities? Does it talk about Neverwinter? Or is there another supplement for just Neverwinter? I think I've given him too many tentacles. I think mine players only have 4 tentacles.
Unless they're the ones that become a new Mother Brain.
Yeah. Which I guess this does. This, if someone was going to become a Mother Brain, I think a mind. Whatever, Mastermind is probably a good candidate.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, the setting guide is the region like what Pathfinder is. Okay, cool. I think this is going to be the knife tentacle.
Knife tentacle. He only has one. He only has one knife tentacle.
Words can be wielded like daggers, but daggers can also be wielded like daggers. I mean, at the end of the day, he could just slurp your brain out with his mouth tentacle probe. So stabbing someone is very much more intentional. It makes it look like he didn't do it. Why would I stab somebody when I could just...
No, officer, it very clearly wasn't me. If it had been me, they would be missing a brain.
Why would I leave such a juicy, delectable brain just out in the open to rot? It's such a waste. Such a waste. Why, I could kill everyone in this room right now for their delicious brains.
But I'm not. But I'm not going to. Clearly, that means I'm an upstanding member of the society.
Never a good defense. I'm pretty happy with this guy. I think I'm about good. Move on. I only really drew a bunch of tentacles, but I think it's a pretty good cohesive piece. Maybe if I give him more of like the opening of the. Nope. If you're playing a Mind Flayer, like you're only seeing the tentacles. This is the way it is. I'm an octopus wearing a coat. Oh my god, I have to make that character. I keep forgetting. Maybe I'll sneak that into the next Patreon game. Oh no, a Mind Flayer! Yes, I am a normal Mind Flayer!
Why'd you say it like that? That's weird.
Johnny Mind Flayer is the name. How many tentacles you got? Enough! The normal amount of Mind Flayer tentacles. Which is, what do you think? 6? 6 sounds right. Whichever one you think is correct as to how many I have. Because I am, in fact, a Mind Flayer. Alright, I'm pretty happy with this. I think we're gonna call it right there. I'm gonna take a quick break and refill my water, and then I will roll the die again, and we'll do the next one. We're back. Okay. Brian, I don't know if you're still around. If you did have a suggestion, you're welcome to add it on there. I'm not sure if you put it in the comment or where. But I'm going to roll for the next one. No, I'm not. I need to find the die. Hold on. Found it.
Oh, amazing. I honestly didn't think you would.
Okay. 7. Ooh, I think we only have 7 left. Let's go look. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't suppose you watched Critical Role Thursday?
Nope, I'm still way behind.
There's some cool stuff happening.
That's good.
I won't say anything for spoilers. I just asked because kind of want to discuss. But, you know.
Alright, John Weasley, try a man with a bird head using a tuxedo. By using, do you mean wearing?
No, very clearly using a text.
Yeah. I mean, that's a thing. It's definitely, it's not a D&D character, but we could do an Aarakocra, fancy suit, I guess. We could try that. We'll do that. A bird head is also not very descriptive, so I'm gonna go. I don't know.
Scarlet Ibis.
Ooh, that's interesting. I like that. We'll do that. How do I do this?
Ibis heads are weird.
Prepare the ibis. I think that's one of these, right? Oops, hold on. Right? I think that's an ibis. A pseudo flamingo.
Kind of, yeah. They're much smaller.
They're smaller than flamingos?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know how big flamingos are.
Flamingos are very large.
Are they? Okay.
You've never seen one at a zoo?
I don't think so.
They're like the size of storks.
Stork's pretty big. I'm just going back to work today. Is run for door early day. Today it's run for the door early day. Okay, sounds good. Get your day done. I watched it, Drew. I can't believe that 4 characters. Jeez.
So this is an illustration that shows roughly their comparative sizes.
They are similar types of birds, though.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Because they both have that hooked bill for krilled stuff, I guess. You know, Brian, the joke's on you. If they all died, I wouldn't care because I'm not attached to any of the characters yet. Because I'm so far behind that I have no idea. I hope your workday goes well quickly and is fast to be over. I've used the octopus pretending to be a mind flayer as an NPC, and it was amusing. He kept saying he was a good mind flayer and tried to help out. The party knew he was lying, but didn't realize what he was lying about. Nice. Yeah, I might have to try that out. God, flamingos' necks are just so weird.
Yeah. I mean, bird necks in general are really weird. But like when I look at flamingos and pelicans and storks, it makes long neck dinosaurs, brontosaurs, apatosaurus. It makes them a lot more
Right.
understandable. I
Yeah.
almost said believable, but
The
that's
downside to it is I honestly thought of a lot of dinosaurs for a while. I was like, I wonder how many of them had more of like bird necks instead of just like long splayed out necks, but none of them have the keel bone, so they wouldn't be able to be erect the same way that birds are.
yeah, and the like the long necks, all of the vertebrae. I mean, not only are the vertebrae fucking huge and stiff, but also they have ossified tendon attachments.
Yeah.
Like they put so much the just the general forces of having the neck out put so much strain on the muscles and tendons and ligaments that were the origins and insertions of all of the tendons became calcified. They became like bone as the dinosaur aged. So they were not flexible, nimble
Yeah, they were more
necks like we see today.
more like a suspension bridge than
Yeah.
than anything else. It just
Absolutely.
slowly, functionally became very long and weighted.
I mean that is an excellent way to describe them.
I need to remember to specify race and class of the D&D characters. Otherwise, we're gonna have lots of birds. Make this a very dapper fellow. I can make this a very dapper ladybird. That could be fun. Although the anatomy line doesn't line up to... Secretly, birds are weird and cool. Although the anatomy doesn't line up to allow similar use. Correct, yeah. There's a lot that goes into how the structure of a long neck works, and it's fascinating. I agree. Yeah, that was the thing, like, there's always that moment of, like, I've figured something out, what these scientists are dumb, and then, like, when you really start looking into it, you're like, no, they know exactly what they're doing. I'm gonna leave it to the professionals. Just walk into the museum and be like, excuse me, this bird, as you like to call it. Well, that's a dinosaur. No, that is a bird.
Actually, I read a Facebook post, so I know more than you and your stupid PhD.
They have feathers, therefore they're birds. I had to wear a suit the other day for a fancy dinner.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was terrible. And I decided to be a cheapskate and just go buy a suit from the thrift store. It seemed okay, and then as I was wearing it, I realized, one, it was way too big for me, and two, it was just kind of a shitty suit. So, if I have to do that again, I would probably maybe spend a little more money. But it's hard to beat a $20 suit, you know? But I have regrets. A D&D character this does not feel. I think I might have to fantasy this up. Yeah, definitely need to spend a little more time on the suit selection next time. It was very uncomfortable. Do I want to change this, or should I just keep this? You know, it does say suit. What if it meant suit of armor? Let's change that up. We're just going to start new there. If you wanted a suit, there's the bird suit. Do with that what you will. Okay. Why are you doing this? There we go. Tough thing about suits for me is I am very blocky. So like if I buy a suit that fits my shoulders, it assumes I'm like 6'2", which I am not. I am not 6'2". Destroys a lot of those nostalgic land before time dinosaurs, showing that I ironically get more into dinosaurs. That's true. Giant noodle dinosaurs.
Yeah. I think if it destroys it for you, you're probably looking at it in.
Yeah, don't go to kids shows for scientific accuracy.
Yeah, you're looking at it in a reductive way. That's the same thing that happened when Pluto got demoted. Like Pluto didn't really get demoted. We found exoplanets, and so our definitions for what a planet was had to change. And so it did, and under the new criteria, planet no longer fit the definition of what a planet was. But like people like if you choose to focus on this is no longer what I knew, I'm like disappointed in how understanding has changed, then you know you're just you're gonna be disappointed constantly because everything changes constantly. That's
Yeah.
I find it much more productive to like get real hyped and excited about all the new stuff that there is to learn.
If they did a Rick and Morty episode about that, where the Plutonians were trying to convince people that Pluto was a planet again, and it was like, one, nobody knows you exist, and two, why do you care? I'm tall and thin, so anything at my height assumes I'm 250 pounds. Yeah. Yep. Man, your art is really cool. Love your videos. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that. I'm gonna make this a paladin bird. I don't think I need this one anymore. I've gotten into a bad habit of not eating lunch the last few days. I've just been eating cookies because there are cookies in the house. And my argument is that that's kind of a sandwich. It's got flour in it, and sugar, and other things. I should probably just eat lunch today. Where'd that picture go? There it is. It's got like this. Ooh, and a colorful neck. Alright, so we're gonna do that. Oh, and then a black beak. Interesting. So I did that backwards. What if I give him a little helmet? Like wings on it. That's pretty good. I guess destroyed wasn't the best word to use. Just felt like I know a lot about dinosaurs growing up with all those old shows and dinosaurs books, and now the realization of noticing none of it was right. Yeah, I think the biggest like shock for me, because I love dinosaurs when I was little, is like how far apart they all existed. That's the biggest.
Yeah.
A big chunk of that for me was also that for a long time in the ocean, most of the creatures were sharks. It's just like that's awesome. But life is weird, you know? We live in a cool time. And we can kind of look back and see all this stuff.
Yeah. I didn't mean to lecture you on your on. I didn't mean to say you need an attitude adjustment. I just meant to say it's easy to get frustrated when information changes. A little harder, but a little bit more enjoyable, in my experience, if you can say, or if you can be excited and happy about all of the new stuff you get to learn. Granted, I do actually all the time. So part of my joy does come from the fact that I get to tell people what's what. But which is my shortcoming, which is where I need to get better. But
you know, the nature of scientific topics. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Little feathers. Some little feathers here.
It's just always worth keeping in mind that you're in charge of your outlook.
It freaks me out that Jupiter could have been another sun. I don't like that the second possible sun is on the other side of our planet. Oh, cosmic. Oh, dang it. What's the opposite of nihilism?
I don't know.
Existentialism. Cosmic existential dread.
Is existential the opposite of nihilism?
I think I have a whole topic for this. 1 second, I gotta type something.
Okay. No worries. I actually don't know that much about those two branches of philosophy.
Yeah, so it's I think Jump Rope might be right that apathy, I think, is technically the opposition of nihilism, but as a school of thought, nihilism is very self-centered, whereas existentialism is outward-facing.
Right. Is self-exclusionary.
Yeah, it's just like I'm nothing. I'm so small compared to everything. Where nihilism is very much just like I'm nothing because I don't matter, and it's just like, but everything could matter, and it's weird. They're very similar, but also kind of diametrically composed. Which maybe not. Maybe I have that backwards.
Most of what I know about nihilism, I learned from I Heart Huckabees, which not a great scholarly source. Good movie though.
I learned about nihilism from The Hobbit.
Yeah, I was too young when I read it, and I haven't watched the movies. Hello. You're very quiet to me.
Maybe not The Hobbit. I gotta think about this. Beowulf? It was a big dragon. I had a really cool class in college called Monsters We Make, which was basically we just talked about philosophical processes via popular fiction and literature.
Cool.
Yeah, so we talked about like Spider-Man and Batman and all a bunch of different comics and Frankenstein's influence on all of those. And that's
cool.
a big chunk where I learned. Like this was forever ago, so I don't remember, but that was a big chunk of when I talked about nihilism and learned about it.
Mm.
So I could be way off my rocker at this point, but it all kind of jumbled together. You're really quiet if you're talking.
Yes. I can't help that. The mic is next to my mouth.
Interesting. I'll turn you up a little bit.
I kind of just looked it up, and
nihilism is the belief that nothing matters, and existentialism is the attempt to confront and deal with meaninglessness.
yeah,
There you go. Okay.
it was like conveniently from the University of Idaho. It's like the purpose of existentialism is to overcome the absurdity of life and the meaningless of it, while nihilism is to accept it and move on.
Yep, I agree. I can see that. I like that. I feel like a bird paladin should just have either a long spear or like a super long sword. Like if you can't whip something around that might take your head off, it's not worth it.
I was jokingly was going to say the opposite of nihilism is optimism, but it's not.
Things get weird with philosophy as well, because it's opposite doesn't really mean opposite. It doesn't mean like the thing that is directly contradictory. It's the school of thought that counters arguments of the other. It gets weird and semantics change.
As someone who has been in philosophy classes, I understand that it's a lot of nitpicking.
Yeah. I think part of that is because philosophy is very much a ongoing thought process based around your surroundings and beliefs. So like, whereas science is science. Like once you understand mathematics, it's mathematics and you can branch off from it. But like with philosophy, you can start from a lot of different places and go somewhere really strange.
Yeah, and philosophy only has value as long as it's discussed. So it is basically a huge conversation. Uh, Passing of ideas. It is the original meme culture.
Well, I don't want to give any credence to meme culture, so I'm going to disagree with that just on the basis of the term.
That's okay. I respect that. Love a highlight layer. Highlight layer makes everything better. Everybody at home, if you're having trouble drawing, highlight layers help, and so do cast shadows.
When in doubt, use more complex structures.
Exactly.
All you have to do is learn all of the complexity of light refraction, and then hold it in your head and apply it as if it were a 3D image onto a 2D surface. It's perfectly simple.
I got really frustrated when I was making that tutorial book because I was basically asked to dumb it down more, and I was like, "But this is kind of as dumb as it gets. I don't know how to do that." And I think essentially what they wanted, which is kind of what I gave them, was just like this, then this, then this, and I'm like, why can't we start with this? Why can't we start here? And they're like, that's too complex. I'm like, it's 4 lines. I'm so upset. It's different. It's a weird thing. So there's definitely a level of when you're learning how to draw, what is the basic, right? What's the base fundamental understanding that you need to get something across?
Absolutely.
And I don't know where that line is sometimes.
Okay, I think I'm done with this paladin.
The extent of my studying and research is such topics with sociology in college. Sociology is good. I did too much, I think. I changed my major too many times, and I went all over the place. But I don't know, I think I kind of learned from it. So no education is wasted. That's always been my stance. So.
Yeah.
Well, it's always good to have a diverse education.
Hello, Inferno. How are you?
Just another day.
I love your little Ibis's derpy little bird face. It's so good.
I need to figure out how his hands are going to look. So he could go very feathery or not feathery at all. I don't know which one I'm going to like better. I'm actually doing wings. Do a few wings. Dim Mino thighs. True, Strong's pretty good thighs.
And I mean, Jonas isn't here, so I gotta pick up the slack. Everything needs sexy hips.
Gave my bird boy bag of paints.
Who fit bag of pants?
Yeah. If I have to wear pants, they're gonna be baggy.
Parachute pants.
Alright, I think I'm done drawing.
Yeah, I think I'm about good too. I'm gonna finish up this guy and then we'll probably call it for the day. It's noon, which is good. That means we're right on schedule. I'll go make some lunch. I'm gonna try to finish up the video, at least the artwork today for the next video, and then I want to get out one of the Patreon game videos. So I might work on that first before I record the script or the audio for the. There's lots of stuff in the works, so I might be back later to finish up some artwork, but I might just work on a video. Probably just work on a video. Let's see what that goes. Hope everybody else is having a fun week. If you have art you would like to share, please just throw that into the Discord so we can see it. If you have cool character ideas, make sure you share those with the Discord. Yeah, that's it. We're just gonna hang out. Have a good time.
You want to see the drawings that I did, or I assume you're going to post yours as well? They all end up in the Discord and Draw tab specifically in your Discord?
That's correct. I'll put those in there. If you want to use these for your characters, please let us know. I mean, like, you're free to do that, but I'd love to hear it. Love to hear what your
Yeah,
character did this week.
totally.
Character sheets would be really funny. Love to see character sheets. Other than that, that's all we got. Thanks for hanging out today. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table, and we'll catch you next week. Probably around tomorrow on Twitch, doing some commission work and just hanging out. And we'll see you next week. Otherwise, bye everybody.
Bye.